Everybody. I'm going to discuss about the idealism, the Plato's Republic, ideal curriculum and contemporary philosophy of education. I'm presented by me, Monica Ibar Bechol, Master of Arts in Various Educations. To run through the Plato's Republic, the Republic Plato had mapped out an ideal curriculum. The simplicity, the multiplicity of aims and educational system must have in order to serve a complex society. So, for Plato, it took account of the multiplicity of aim in an education system must have in order to serve a complex society, which depend on specialization of functions. At the same time, this curriculum took account um, of the complex nature of reality. That's why there is a curriculum complex nature of reality, and the price of being most real went to the world of forms. The road to that domain passed through the theater, the market, and the academy. For although the Plato's Platonic form defined the types into which things fell or offered attractive ideals, still the physical world of space and time had its own characteristics and could not be reduced to forms of space and time without remainder. For Plato's Republic, we as a individual, but when we say the forms were still more pluralized and temporalized and modified by perspective as they appear in the world of creativity or fine arts. For example, they perceive as a cat. So, when we say cat, when we see cat, we can relate it to Garfield. When we say Garfield, it is a big face of cat, okay? Tapos, and a cartoon hero, and a comic, etc., etc. So, now, well, it would be a foolish to accept imagination's equivalent to actual observation, scientific deduction. Its product would have a special beauty that was not attractive but educationally important. Hmm? When we say form or equivalent to beauty or existence, okay? When we say existence, it depends upon the artistic or the aes- aesthetic sensitivity developed, okay, for us. So, for example, the belt of young is crucial to later social effectiveness and engaged individual existence. So, we as individual, when we say form to beauty and existence, we perceive things when we see them. And then when we say aesthetic, it varies manifestation of beauty. And then some are beautiful in your eyes, while other, if they see that way, they didn't beautiful. Okay? And the second word is hypothetical deductive approach. Isolate what is essential to human behavior. We could deduce that would and what would not lead to human betterment. Okay? For example, if we could discover and agree upon a general definition of human excellence, or if we could isolate what is essential to human behavior, we could deduce, mhm, not lead to human betterment. The abstraction will start with many, be of many kind. One might, for example, want to work out for behavior of an economic man or hypothetical ever prudent consumer and seller. When we say deductive approach, you as individual know to function uh, physically, or you the thing that you've learned as an individual must be as function as that. Okay, and then when we say forms of forms of value, that forms of the fact, but in fact the forms include the forms of value than form of fact, completeness, composability, aesthetic contrast, and mathematical simplicity, some types of symmetry. to go beyond the limitation of exclusive plurality and uh, absent-minded single focus requires some other method of that kind of both correction. Okay, when we say forms of values, that the fact you must individual must be know that the real factual information, the truth behind that form. Okay, and then the form of the good. When we say the form of the good, which is the organizing principle of the world of form. Okay, world of form such as truth, symmetry, efficiency, justice, and beauty are reflection of the thing of the this form on a different level of appearance and reality scale. So when we say the form of the good, it depends upon the reflection of our right now. When we say for the place it occupies in the republic, when we say the republic is the state of individual. For Plato's education, he wanted to develop an individual who is functionally literate and enabled to lead the country according to what he is known and develop an individual that is capable to lead another people or the nation or state within. The form of God emphasizes something important in Platonism. This is that the forms are not simply classes and structure, but often are ideal as well. Okay? Yeah. The Republic reflects the conviction that the proper function of political science is to design an ideal state. So when we say individual ideal state, according to Plato, he wanted to develop, we as a human must develop our rationality and courageous and the values in order to govern the city or the state itself, and then to lead the people to searching for truth. That's the idea. Okay? And Plato set out a realistic curriculum which is at the same time ideal one. Ideal, it is matching of increasing insight and increasing reality. Okay? Further, the first level is basic skill. Reading, writing, computations. According to Plato, we can relate it to the right now elementary. Okay, for the elementary stage, during those Plato's time, they teach students, children, the basic skills, which is reading, writing, and computation, or the mathematics. Then afterward, if individual of the students have a basic knowledge, so they can go on the main content, which the music includes a whole range of literature. When we say literature, it's a variety of writings. Hmm? We can reading and poetic, and then what do we call this? Writing, languages. Where it includes the languages. And then the gymnastic includes a dancing and the idea of grace. When we say gymnastic, it is enable, for example, in this category, in this main context, the first level is we can relate it to elementary level. On the main context, it is the high school level. During those time, before you are go to the main content, you must be capable enough or know enough about the basic skills before you go to enter in the main content. On the main content, individual of the students, this encourage and then teach them the music, not necessarily the rhythm or the melody, but in a whole range of literature. So when we say literature is not only the reading, the writing, or something that compositions and so on. Okay? And then another is the gymnastic. When we say gymnastic, it is involvement of using of uh, body. Okay, you are well masculine enough when you say dancing, not merely a dancing of a gray, but then you are your body is capable enough to do the task that been uh, uh, given to you as well. On the third one, the fundamental aim of education of Plato's Republic can describe aesthetic appreciation. As we all know, when we say aesthetic, it is the various manifestations of beauty. So it's dependent on how appreciate beauty itself or the matter, the reality itself. The theory is that the children growing up with beauty and grace, not merely beauty, it is the outer appearance, but the beauty that you as individual, we as individual are appreciative of the things that surrounding us. And then we also as individual learn how to value the beauty, not only the beauty that superficial or the outside, but merely on the beauty on the inside that is with grace. Okay? Recognize and prize these qualities later. This will lead to temperance or moderation. If you already learn to uh, how to control yourself on the main content, you can level up on this one. Okay, if you this part is being the collegiate area right now. Okay? And then during those time, you as a leader, we as individual, Plato's wanted to develop individual intellectual, not merely intellectual, but that not merely intellectual, but value, have a value, innate value, which is known how to control oneself also, and then how to engage or lead the people itself. Okay? And it states there that avoidance of the out balance exists and a friendliness between citizen and different vocation. When you say this is citizen, you as individual, you as a being a leader, you know how to uh, have an interrelationship with your people surrounding you. Okay? And the secondary education. This is secondary education. Selected group of students training for future soldier and civil servant with executive responsibility. This secondary level of educations, individual or student, we are really training for a future soldier. These students, while you are on primary education, set of educations, before you go to enter secondary education at Plato's Republic, you have to undergo several examinations, or you as student must be chosen to serve the country as a responsible soldier, as a responsible servant, as a civil servant with, with executive responsibilities, or such a soldier or police, or a leader itself. This is to be a stage of discipline. Physical military training. Okay, so you have undergo a rigid training wherein your body and then your attitude will be developed for in order for you to serve the country future. Okay, and the mental mathematics and logic, not merely counting, but you know how to when you say logic, it's the correct thinking and reasoning. So you know how it's logically or illogically reasonable, something just like that. So in this stage, secondary educations, this individual, the students, the future soldier, they will undergo a training in which they will be disciplined enough. Mhm. And then Plato's vision of reality includes a world of nature, arts and craft between the realm of poetry and pure precision. The first one is the most citizen will have vocational training. So as of now, as we can relate it for the present time, when we say vocational training is the technical vocational courses. So most some of our students having given to choose between if are they going to uh, go on academic or on a technical vocational courses. Okay, and the number two, everyone have a sound common sense. So when we say have sound common sense, you as individual know, aware, and you have aware and self-determined, and you know what to do on a certain situation that you are in. And the third one is young intellectual must be indoctrinated against the comparative world of nature. When we say indoctrinated, those things, uh, you learned, okay, as intellectual students, as intellectual individual, must you learn that the world, you must be appreciate the world itself and how you interact within it. Okay. The third is the higher education, concerned with questions of values. When you, this higher education, so Plato's Republic, he wanted to, if you are as an individual, mm, uh, pass those primary and secondary level education, if you are in the higher education, you are intellectually enough. Not really intellectual, but you have the courage and the temperance to control, okay, and to govern the state itself. Learned how to think consistently, then thinking comprehensively, and as the question discussed range over ethics, politics, and economics. So, as we all know, the ethics is what's the moral and the moral one, and then the politics is how to govern the people itself and the states, and the economic is the what we are right now, the status of the countries and things like that. So if you are in the higher educations, you must have level up and then learn and everything, and you are intellectually know how to lead and to govern the country or the state with or the people you are in task with. Okay, in terms of definition of human nature, Glaucon offers a model of man as an aggressive, Idemetus of man as aggressive, and Socrates of man as a speculative. The fact is that all three views must be combined and they are the tangled mixture of political and diverse individual person. Next is Plato's plan for education to be and to involve the first bullet is must have multiple aims to be effective, and another is must have different levels and method to be realistic, and the third one is there is a natural sequence of learning fine arts to philosophy, and the parallel human development of mental power, intellect, of maturity. So there are the three plan for education to be and to involve. When we say to be is to become individual, have an effective individual, and have a diverse learning about different level, and then to involve what we have learned or what the student have learned about the education itself. So just for now, I hope you appreciate what I'm discussing about the idealism, and that's all. Thank you and God bless. Okay, in addition to this, lastly, before I end my discussion, the last slide will be the aim of education must say that the Platonists be fourfold. Education aims at realizing in each individual aesthetic sensitivity, social effectiveness, mental discipline with logic and mathematics as a as a key tool. So for Plato's aim of education, there are four things to consider. So every individual have aesthetic sensitivity. When we say aesthetic sensitivity, we as individual must appreciate the beauty of the nature or the reality that we are in right now. And social effectiveness, as individual, you must function, uh, when we say social effectiveness, you must function as you are able to do your educations, being students or an army or individual have the capability, you must functions what you have, your course or your knowledge. And then the third is the mental discipline. You as individual has discipline not only yourself but your mental. When we say mental is the intellectual capability. On we say mental, which is include also the emotions and the intellect of individual. And that's why it congruent with logic. It means that it include correct thinking and reasoning. And then the lastly is the mathematics as the key tool. So we as individual must know how to apply what we learn on the mathematical way. Okay, I hope you understand and um, be glad and accept this discussion about idealism. That's all, and goodbye. Thank you.